Welcome back, friends. Ashley Berges here today. And today I want to talk more about the impulsive and risky behavior, one of the signs and symptoms of BPD. And I want to talk about it more specifically when it comes to sex, unsafe sex, multiple partners. And I really want to deep dive into that today because a lot of people don't understand exactly why somebody does it, why they interact with this, what would be the reasoning. Are they just cheating on me? Are they doing it for pleasure? Why are they doing it? And so I think we need to deep dive into that specifically and understand the reasons why somebody would participate in this type of behavior. When we talk about the unsafe sex or sex with multiple partners or having sex on the download type situation when somebody's in a relationship, when somebody is also dealing with BPD tendencies, we need to understand exactly the reason for that. Now, one of the biggest reasons that anybody does any impulsive or risky behavior is escapism, escaping one's life, escaping one's situation, trying to forget about it for a moment in time while they're doing or participating in a certain activity. So that's definitely the first thing. That's always there that we can think about. But there's a lot bigger play here when it comes to sex. And one of the big things that I find when somebody is having sex in these situations is that there's a reason for it. Particularly the reason is that fear of abandonment, that fear of being alone. And so when they're interacting with somebody, having sex with somebody, that feeling goes away in that moment. Even if they're just meeting somebody on a website, a sex site, a dating site for a one-night stand, it could turn out to be multiple night stands, but that offsets that feeling of loneliness. And I've also felt that when borderline personality disorder gets into a relationship with somebody that's emotionally unavailable, and this is a big thing, when they get into a relationship with somebody that's emotionally unavailable or unable to commit or are married in their own relationship and unable to move over to that other relationship, the person with BPD has a tendency of acting out and having sex with other people to gain control, to feel more in control, to feel like there are other options. It can also be, again, that fear of abandonment, that fear of being alone. That person's not here with me, or they're not emotionally there for me, or they cannot be here with me right now. I need to find someone to fill this void right now. I also found, too, that this could be an aspect of monkey branching. So the concept of monkey branching, where they're not feeling comfortable or safe in their relationship, they're feeling like this other person is going to leave them or abandon them, they start checking out greener pastures. And in that process, you're having sex with people, trying to fill them out and feel where they are. And so that could also be some of these sex practices as well, because they're wanting to have a backup plan or actually go and change their certain situation now, their current situation, into a new situation. And so, see, there's lots of aspects of reasons why somebody would be participating in this. Another aspect, too, is, like I said, the monkey branching, but having more options. Feeling is that you're loved by more people. Sometimes somebody with BPD will go back to an ex and have sex with them during their current relationship. And there's a concept of control. There's also a concept of reestablishing the relationship, also connecting with that person and knowing that that person is still there for them, knowing that the person has not abandoned them. Sometimes they don't even want to have sex with this person, but because the other person wants to have sex, they do it because they don't want that person to leave them or abandon them and not be their friend. And so there's many aspects you see here, but I actually think that more of it goes back to that fear of being alone. I actually feel that in the moment, maybe they get something out of it. In the moment, it allows them to escape. In the moment, maybe they're wanting to monkey branch and jump into a quick other relationship. But sometimes if it is just the fact that the person that they're in love with is not there with them or cannot be there with them, I find like this is something that can kind of be a band-aid in the process, but often they can feel very bad about it. They can also start judging themselves about it. And that kind of jumps into the next concept I want to talk about is the drug abuse or alcohol abuse, because this can go hand in hand, because when we're participating in these activities, especially with, going out and finding other people to have sex with to fill this void, if we're not feeling good about it and we're questioning our behavior a little bit after the fact, and the escapism isn't lasting as long as it did before, we might have to group together that drug or alcohol component to be able to get through what we're doing, to make it okay, to basically numb ourselves or to escape even more, to either not remember it, to take the edge off of it, to not get really upset about it, to not beat ourselves up, and to also maybe be more compliant with it. And so these things go really hand in hand, and I want you to think about that, because oftentimes clients will say, well, why did he or she step out? Was it just because they just wanted to have sex with somebody? Was it just to get me back? And I really don't think that that's really the reason for it. I really think it's because of, maybe they're feeling out of control. They're needing to feel that they have someone. They need to feel that they get that attention from that person. And that's a big component too, is getting that attention from someone. And they might not even want to have sex with that person really, but it's about having that attention, having that connection, and not feeling alone. And then when you add the drug abuse to it, whether it's cocaine or marijuana or alcohol or what have you, or meth or whatever that drug is, you're actually increasing the escapism with the sex and the drug component itself. And that also allows the person to continue to do some of these things, even if they know or they feel bad about it, or they feel as though they're kind of hurting themselves. They can still continue to do that with the aid of this drug or alcohol. And we'll be talking about more of that in upcoming videos, specifically the drug abuse. But the sex itself is that escapism. It is avoiding that abandonment, avoiding that fear of being alone, trying to fill those gaps in. If they are with somebody that's emotionally not there for them, it's being able to go to that person and having somebody there. It also can be used for the monkey branching concept, where they already feel like something's wrong with this relationship, or they're feeling like the other person's going to leave, or whatever that issue is. Normally it's that fear of abandonment in the back of their mind, and so they're running to the next relationship. And that can be what a lot of those practices, having sex, can be about, because they're trying to find the next person, but often it's to fill that void. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You can also join the channel for exclusive member content. Give us a thumbs up if this video has helped you or enlightened you in some way. In the comment section of this video, let me know, are you currently dealing with this situation in your own life? Or are you dealing with somebody that you're in a relationship with has stepped out multiple times, or has stepped out once, and trying to understand the pathology behind this? Because this can be very interesting, and oftentimes it can feel that somebody's doing this because they're wanting to hurt you, but more often than not, that person's trying to fill a void or trying to not feel hurt themselves. As you know, I'm going to say it. I say it at the end of each video. Don't forget to live your true life.